Thank you for tuning in to Spiritual Debriefing from First Baptist Church, Hiwassee, a podcast about Christian men living a Christian life in a very unchristian world. With your hosts, Daniel Meadows, Derek Fisher, Randy Bryson, Jed Harris, and me, Ray Taggart.
Welcome to Spiritual Debriefing. I am one of your hosts, Brother Daniel Meadows, youth pastor at First Baptist Hiwassee. With me, as always, is...
I'm Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Hi, Jed.
And I'm Jed. And I'm also your host.
I'm Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Ray.
And then I'm Ray.
Yes, you are, Ray.
Yeah, the fifth host of the show. So I'm staring at a bunch while they're not hostesses, they're little Debbies, but whatever. Snacks in front of us. And I'll do the obligatory. Yeah, please like and subscribe to the podcast and share it with your family and friends and pass it around and help us get the word out to those who, might find this helpful to them. All right.
Maybe send us some topics.
Hey, so with Thanksgiving happening, we're going to talk about being thankful. And so I'm going to pass this over to Randy, and he's going to facilitate, lead, guide, discuss with, I don't know, whatever you want to do.
I'm
Just
glad
take
you
it.
broke that down because I was.
Yeah, because I'm like those big words,
Yeah.
that master's degree.
I got
Calm
that
it back down.
I
calm
got
it
that
back
master's.
Just throw it in the middle of the table. We'll all take a bite and go on.
That's right.
down. It's already full in the middle. So how we doing? We had a good week, boys?
Yeah, it's cold.
You cold?
Yeah,
No.
I'm cold.
Oh. I'm still in shorts.
I
I don't know
know.
what you're talking about.
Are you in sandals too still?
Yeah.
Wait till tomorrow.
I mean,
Derek won't get out of bed.
I don't want to get out of bed in the mornings.
it is 40 degrees still, so
Yeah. Ain't
Makes
that
sense.
cold.
You're bringing the desert kid out here. It's cold.
I'll give you like Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. It was pretty chilly. I even wore my overalls to work. So.
tomorrow though, tomorrow the low's in the teens, ain't it?
I think so. They said we'd be struggling to hit freezing mark.
Hey, I'll just tell you, I'm glad we ain't in upstate New York. Did you see that?
Me too. Oh, no, what? So, yeah. No, what I meant. Sorry.
So their record of snowfall right now is 36 inches in a 24-hour period, and they're predicting 70 inches of snow.
Wow.
In a 24-hour period starting tonight.
Well, they're still all quarantined anyways.
Yeah, but upstate's where all the ranchers are.
Yep.
So think about that.
All right, if you put it that way, cool, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for that.
They're not going to be able to see their cows.
Nope. They're all in the barn.
Right?
We hope.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. So anyway, I was talking with the guys, and I come across a pretty good question, and I thought this would go pretty good with Thanksgiving coming up here. What if you woke up this morning and had only the things you thanked God for yesterday? Any input on that, boys?
Well, I mean, at least I'd have my family, my house, that stuff. I do try to be, say a thankful prayer every morning for that. And Wendy also gives me a little trouble about that because I usually throw that into our dinner prayer and just, thank him for all kinds of stuff. She's like, you don't have to catch up on your prayer life at dinner. Just trying to make sure it's, a little faster than the Bart Simpson, rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub, yay God.
That's a...
Kind of puts it in perspective of our prayer lives and
it does.
what you're thankful for most of the time. And go ahead, Derek.
I will start. It's going to be a little different. I'm still thankful for all the things that I got to. I mean, it's the family, the house, jobs, But, when you asked me that question, I was really thinking about the last couple of days. And I'm actually thankful for some of the men in my life. And I can go back to just being like the childhood age And that's what I thought about. We grew up at, in a Baptist church, and we had some good men in that, and a good pastor that we were friends with, and he was a good, kind of a role model to look up to, at a young age. And then I remember when we first got married, our church started a sister church in the town that we moved in. And me and my wife started going there. And the one guy that sticks in my head the most, his name is Jeff Benner. He was a pastor there, or he still is. And, just a really good role model for me at being just married. And, who do you follow? Who do you look up to? And I remember we first had Autumn, and the first night we brought her home, she was just crying constantly, like nonstop crying, like she still does. But she was nonstop, like we didn't know. We're like new parents,
I was about to say that explains a lot.
right? Right. We had no idea. We had, we didn't know. Then who do you call? And so we called, our pastor's family, and I know my wife talked to. Her name's Connie, and talked to Connie, and like, what do we do? Like, we're like freaking out. She won't stop crying, But they I want to believe they even came over and just kind of just comfort us and be like, everything's gonna be okay. This is what they do, And he has 3 kids, and we got to see all 3 of his kids grow up too, and being that role model of a father, of a Christian man. He was, he had to work and be a pastor. And what do you guys call that? Bivocational?
Bivocational.
Yeah. So he had to do that too, and all the time and the effort of raising kids, and trying to start a church, and all the stress, and it's always was just a good spirit, We became really good friends. I mean, we still text each other, and we always have like a little inside joke. And I always told him, I'm like, "You're killing me," and I can text him that right now, be like, "You're killing me." He knows exactly who texted him. So that's what I'm thankful for is people like that in my life, and we've gone on camping trips with them, and somebody to show me how to raise our kids and still be involved in the church, and just walking with God. So that's one of the things that I'm thankful for. And through the life too, I've had just a handful of good men. Even growing up too, I had a buddy that he taught me how to hunt. I went hunting with him as a kid, and he's just a great man. And we still talk, and I still need to get up to his place and hunt, but I'm probably gonna be next year. I wanted to go this year, but it's not gonna work out. But when you asked me that question, that's what I thought about, was just some of those guys in my life. And, sometimes I wish I wasn't such a bonehead back then too, and kind of listened more. We talk about the teenage kids, and, they think they know everything already. And I sit back and reflect on that. And sometimes I felt like that, I was that person too, thought I knew everything. And we had these great men in my life that were, guiding us, and guiding me and teaching me. And sometimes I thought, well, I know how to do all this. I know what I'm doing. Well, in reality, I didn't, but when you get to sit back and look at your life now, and you see some of those people that you had in your life, that's what I'm thankful for. So yeah, a little different, but
Not really. I've got the same. I've got a lot of men I need to appreciate in my life and be thankful for. I'll throw this out there real quick. I thank the jail for giving me confidence as starting at a young age, because younger, your wife will attest, I was quiet and shy and didn't say a whole lot.
Really?
You know? Yes.
Wow.
Surprises me.
That broke me there at the jail. And that's all I'm going to say about that. They gave me good confidence. Other than that, I'd forget them. Anyway, but no, moving on into that, you know, you kind of move into different things in your life. And, you know, y'all heard the story about Mike and myself starting the class up, and it was just him and me in there. Mm-hmm. Well, building me up from him, I mean, Mike was, you know, pretty thankful for him being in my life, or I probably wouldn't be, you know, going back through all this stuff here. And then that throws in, you know, Jim, my father-in-law. He, you know, of course, marrying his daughter, he showed me a lot of patience in life, because I was just a, you know, hot-headed deputy wanting to do everything else in life, and showing me the patience. So, I mean, we had good, you know, good times with the patience there. And then just moving into doing all this men's stuff and then growing with you guys. I mean, friends come and go, man, but, you know, when they're legit friends, they stick with you. So, I mean, we've been friends for a little bit here, so I haven't seen y'all leave yet. But I think getting back into this men's group, I'm regaining that confidence, because usually I'll tell you, show me how to do it first, and then I'll get to it, you know?
Right.
Now it's like, if I screw up, who cares? Let's try it again.
Yeah.
You know, I'll listen. So getting back into this, I mean, you guys are giving me more confidence than I ever had. I mean, you guys give me all these tasks and everything, and I'm like, that's easy. Let's do it, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, so yeah, going down memory lane there's a lot of good men that's come up in my life that I probably need. And of course, I'm going to throw this out there with it, just because this falls in line. It says God doesn't give you the people you want. He gives you the people you need to help you, to hurt you, to leave you, to love you, and to make you the person you were meant to be. So along the lines, God's put certain people in your life to put you in where you're at today.
Yeah. And then sometimes we need to listen to those people too.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I agree.
And we could spend all night really just thanking people. You know, you go back and just think of all the men, and you're like, man, I could be here all night just thanking everybody. But you know, it's not an Oscar, so I can't be like, oh yeah, I appreciate this, or NASCAR.
I only got
Thank you,
10
Goodyear.
seconds.
Right.
No. I know I missed a lot of people, but you know, no. But,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, man, as I think back, and you know, Ray, like you said, you thank him for your family, and I do, man, on a daily basis. And you know, when you're staring at your wife through a window, laying in a hospital bed because of COVID, man, that, like, you're already grateful for her, but when they pull through something like that, you're even more grateful to have her another day.
And that faith grows pretty strong there, because you answered prayers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so there's no doubt. I thank God for my family daily, but I thank Him for the opportunity to get to serve Him in a way I never thought I would. You know, when ministry's not something that a lot of people just go, hey, I think I'm just going to go be a pastor now. Like, it is a calling. Being a pastor is probably the hardest job I've ever done, even as a youth pastor. Harder than working in the jail, harder than throwing hay bales, harder than driving T-post, harder than working, you know, I mean, being on church staff as a youth pastor is probably the hardest thing ever. But I thank God for the opportunity, because it's like you said in that quote, Randy, especially the last part, he gives you the people you need to help you, to hurt you, and that's the hardest one to understand.
Yeah.
Because in times in ministry, you will get hurt. and to understand that God put them in your way for a purpose. I didn't know what that purpose was, but obviously it was to come up here. You know, I mean, I was content and happy in South Arkansas. I loved it. I didn't know why God let stuff happen that he did, but I thank him that he did. Because if he didn't, I wouldn't have ever come up here. And then I wouldn't have ever been at this church for, 4 years in April? You know, and so, yeah, Randy.
Oh, that's cute. A little heart.
Since you guys can't see, Randy just threw a heart to me.
The biggest feller here too.
Yeah, he's got the biggest heart.
Yeah.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
But
I got a hug for you one size fits all.
I
buddy.
appreciate it. But I mean, that's what I thank God for on a daily basis. It's just the fact that he allows me to spend another day serving him in ministry, even though it's as a bivocational pastor. You know, because I mean, I couldn't do it on my own. There ain't no way I could do it on my own. I've tried it and I failed. So,
You know, I heard too. And I always wanted to ask you this, and it's probably, I think it's kind of true, but maybe it's not. Do you feel that being a pastor is one of the loneliest positions?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. It's, you know, like I said, it's the hardest one I've ever done. Hardest job. I don't like calling it a job.
It's a calling.
It's the hardest calling I've ever done. But it's the loneliest. And I'll explain why. At least this is the way I
Yeah.
see it. And I think a lot of pastors I've talked to, they see it the same way. Our people that we serve, they'll talk about a lot of things, right, amongst each other. But they hardly ever come talk to the pastor. They go do a lot of things together, but they hardly ever call the pastor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times, in my last church and this church has been good to me about including me in things. You know, like you guys do good at saying, hey, just come over. Of course, Taylor works different than me. To me, that means, hey, I can come over whenever I want.
Right.
You know, Taylor wants a schedule.
Yeah.
And my last church was the same way as you guys are. Very much, hey, just come over. We'll hang out. We'll do whatever. A lot of times it was sitting around the bonfire. But the first couple of churches I was at, it was just, I mean, I was single too. And so I didn't have nobody to hang out with. So I was sitting at home alone
Yeah.
a lot for the first 4 or 5 years of doing church ministry. You know, so it's a lonely, being a pastor, if you're out there, being a pastor is a lonely job.
Yeah. Sorry I brought that up. I was just curious.
No, but,
That changed the whole
it's-
subject. I'm sorry. But
No, it's good. And I think because I've been a pastor and then I've been not a pastor, you know, and I spent 2 years away from the ministry because I didn't understand that whole God puts people in your path to hurt you for a reason sometimes. And even once I still got here, I mean, I still struggled with it, but I think a lot of times what we do, and even when I was out of the ministry, we think, oh, he's too busy. We don't want to bother him. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, oh, there's 100 different people in the church. He doesn't have time for me. Or he doesn't have time to come hang out with us. Or, you know, and I'll just tell you, for me, that's not true. And this is what I've told the students. If you got something going, let me know. And I'm going to try everything I can to be there. You know, like down in Bradley, I went to pig shows, man. I drove to Texarkana from Bradley, which is a 45-minute drive, to watch a pig show
right.
on a Tuesday night. You know, I mean, I didn't just go and watch it. I went and helped them work it. I walked their pig while they were showing one pig. I walked the other one to the washing station, and I washed their pig for them. And you know, I mean, I didn't go just to sit in the stands and watch. I went
Right.
to help them.
Yeah.
Oink, oink.
You know, and that's the same thing. I've told the same thing to these kids. Is, let me know. Like, I want to come watch. I mean, I've went and watched Haley wrestle, and
Yeah, I think you went to our foreign exchange students play last year.
I went to both of them, and I mean that, like the pastor has a family. They may be times where they can't do everything, but I guarantee you, it's going to make a difference. I remember when I was a kid playing football, I'd look up in the stands, and it wasn't my parents the first person I saw. I knew my parents were there. It didn't matter. Every home game, my parents were there. The one that stood out to me was my pastor, my youth pastor, that was sitting in the stands. That's what stood out to me. And so that's why I'm like, hey, you got something going on, let's do it. Like you're riding horses, hey, let's go watch. I'm game.
No, I know you're hunting fish anytime.
Yeah.
So the struggle is real, but so are the blessings.
You're right.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
he's thankful for those things.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the struggle's real. The struggle's there, but the blessings, man, those far outweigh. And that's what I'm thankful for. You're in ministry, and a lot of pastors won't tell you they're thankful for the struggles. But if you don't have the struggles, it doesn't shape you into who you are.
Right.
There's I don't care. There's no pastor out there that says they got shaped without any struggles. You ask any pastor and they'll tell you they went through hard times. And if there's one that says they didn't, man, they're lying. They're lying.
Well, and that goes for everybody too.
Yeah, really. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I just don't want somebody who's feeling that calling into ministry going, oh, well, if there's struggles, I don't want to do it. Because I'm telling you, if you're feeling that calling, don't ignore it, man. Because that blessing outweighs those struggles. And those struggles are going to come. I mean, they started coming here. But, dude, when you get guys around you and the blessings show up, and you got guys who hold up your hands like Moses had, and support you and push you and got your back like what I wound up getting here, those blessings come, man. Sorry, we went into talking.
Sorry. Now it's Judd's turn. We apologize, Judd.
We were talking about being thankful, and we got talking into ministry and answering callings.
But where I wanted to go with all this was I told Derek, I said, I want people or situations, bad or good. I want just stories that we can sit here and reflect off each other to help shape us and how thankful we are.
And it's, I know Derek relates everything back to law enforcement. And I get it. I get it because I did the jail for a couple years and I was raised up in law enforcement and fire service. But, I'd go everything back to rodeo and the Western way of life, man. Those struggles, when you get bucked off the horse, what do? You get back on and you ride, and that's all it is. You face those struggles in life, you face those struggles in ministry, whatever it is, because they're coming. No matter what you do, they're coming. You get bucked off, you get back on, and you ride off. If you get bucked off on those struggles and you give up and you walk away, it's like when you're riding a horse, you get bucked off, you walk away from that horse won. That horse don't got to do nothing else except buck you off every time.
That's it.
That's all it's got to do now, and it's golden.
Yeah, that's life. That's life right there.
Well, other than Jesus being the perfect person, would you want a perfect person trying to teach you something?
No.
Because they haven't struggled. They haven't seen. They don't know what's going. They've just, everything's been smooth for them. So struggle is great.
Even though, and here's what, Jesus was perfect, yes. But did Jesus also not face struggles?
He faced struggles.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, and I think that's the thing is Jesus in his perfection understood what we would go through. And so he was, I think if any one of us was perfect, we'd be like, I'm perfect, tough luck.
That's right.
Try to figure it out on your own. You know what I mean?
That would be how it would go.
But that's God's sovereignty, though. Mm-hmm. And the fact in his perfection is willing to teach us through it. So.
I just caught that little glimpse that I just had to throw it out
No, I
there.
love that. No, that's great. That's great. What are you thankful for, Judd?
I'm thankful, just kind of like Derek, just to mostly family back in growing up as a kid. I had the great privilege of spending a lot of time with my mother's uncle. They didn't have kids, so a lot of summers we spent in Rogers with them. He was retired JAG officer out of World War II. Got to serve on he was a founding member of the Supreme Court for the state of Kansas.
Wow.
So I like history, and I mean, he taught me right through a lot of history and stuff. And being an attorney and a judge, I got to see a lot of right and wrong, that helped me. It really did. You wouldn't think a 8-year-old kid would pay a whole lot of attention to a guy like that, but I paid a lot of attention. We spent a lot of time together, lots of long talks, and then after that, of course, my grandpa, great Christian man, deacon, spent a lot of time with him. We'd be traveling, we'd go camping and stuff, and got a lot of good stuff from him. And then just when I got old enough to start working around 13, 14 years old, I was always hanging around with somebody that was 10 years older than me. So they've already went through the mess up, so I got to skip a lot of mess ups.
I tend to do the same thing. It's like I've said, y'all are just my older brothers. And then that one weird old cousin over there.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, here I am, the oldest one of this bunch by far.
Yeah, but
Yep.
He's the uncle.
I surround myself with older men to learn. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Well, I think
and
it's
I've
a
been-
wise decision because it worked well for me, I think.
Well,
so
and
far.
I've always done that because I'm just an old soul, anyways.
Well, it's just like sports too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the,
You hang around the better
yeah, you
to
do.
get better.
Yeah, you go play an age, higher than you.
Yeah.
So you can get better.
I mean,
Yeah.
from a young age, I always hung out with the older.
Yeah, I did too.
I never liked people my age. Like I said,
I run with a few my age, but I mean, for the most part, it was always somebody at least 10 to sometimes 30 years older than me.
I sit in my recliner and watch Gunsmoke and Bonanza and drink black coffee. Just an old soul at 32 years old.
But I thought it was a great thing because I got to see the other people, hear from them, their real life struggles, so I got to skip it.
Sorry to cut you off, Jed.
That's all right. It's Ray's turn now.
Well, yeah, and, talking about what you actually are thankful for, what I forget to be thankful for, because like I said at the beginning, every day I thank God for my family, my immediate family, my wife and daughter and everything. And every now and again I remember to thank him for the church that he's helped us find here, But going back, I mean, I'm definitely very thankful for my father, who I had, who is a good role model for me in many ways that he could be. He actually had a chronic illness as well and was diagnosed for almost as long as I can remember. But he was also a farmer too. So he had that farmer mentality and attitude, and there's nothing that's too big. There's nothing you can't do. You just get into it. And if you need help, you find the right person to help you out. And, I was actually just joking around the other day with my daughter about, I can't remember why she said it, but she said something about, she's like, oh, I'd love to go up on the roof with you. I was like, you don't get to come up on the roof with me until we're going to reshingle a roof, and then you can help me out. And she's like, I'd love to reshingle a roof with you. She's 8. I'm like, you wouldn't, but because I've actually done that. I had to do that with my father because even though he was sick, he was like, all right, we're going to reshingle our house, and I'm going to do it. And I can't carry the stacks up and down the ladder, so you're going to do that for me while I do the roof. And at the time, I wasn't very thankful for that. But it's the attitude that it's given me to this day, where if a problem comes along, I'm always like, all right, well, let's open it up. Let's take it apart. Let's see if we can fix it. I mean, it's already broken. We can't do much worse at this point. And I was his hands, it's the difference between what you see in a lot of the kind of videos or whatever you want to call mocking it, where it's like, oh yeah, help your dad work on the car, hold the flashlight. Well, no, he held the flashlight and then told me what nut to turn and what bolt to take out and how to do this and how to do that. So, being grateful for him, but also in a way kind of grateful for the illness that he had, because it forced him to teach me in a different way than I think, I may have been taught. And then also had to step up and take responsibility early. Now, as we talked about in the previous podcast, that didn't go so well for a while because I ran away from it. But it also prepared me now for my wife, who also has a chronic illness that, I didn't know that when I married her, and it just so happens she does. But I think without having gone through it as a child, I don't know how I would be dealing with it now. It's not like it's just fine. It's no big deal. I mean, it's a struggle, but I'm also thankful for that too, because I think without her illness, I wouldn't be saved, and without her illness, I wouldn't actually be stepping into the role of the man that I am, because I was definitely not a responsible man for quite a long time. I was the opposite, and so it's hard to say, but being thankful for the people in my life who have had the struggles that they've had, and what it's helped teach me and forced me almost to become and to do. So, and with my wife's illness and health, she's been my rock for my biblical learning and study, because that's she can't go out and do all the things we used to do. So now, instead of just sitting around and watching another random movie about the same old thing over and over again, a lot of times we're like, well, let's do a Bible study. Let's watch this pastor. Let's learn a little bit about this, or learn a little bit more about that. And I know I would not be doing that without her. If it wasn't her, it'd be all Die Hard movies and Sylvester Stallone and all that, because that's all that's just what I slip into without her. So I'm really grateful for some of the hardest things in my life. I'm still actually quite grateful for them.
So being grateful for where we're at and excited where we're going.
I was going to read that First Thessalonians, and I see you have it written down over there.
Here, go ahead.
No, you go ahead and read it, and then I'll share something that I was going to go with that.
All right, you're going out of turn here. That was my last thing.
Well, I know, but this just because as we
I'm
talk
joking,
as we
calm
talk
down.
about
That's
being
weird. It's not
thankful,
highlighted in blue.
I know I didn't know the order because nothing's highlighted there.
It dried up.
Anyway, 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18 says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Jesus Christ."
So, as I think on that verse, and I've read that verse and I've taught that verse so many times, and as I sit and think over the last 2.5 years of us really trying to have kids, I've learned to be thankful even though we can't. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to think about. I think for all of us, our desire was to be a dad, right? We wanted to have kids to raise up and to throw footballs with, or to hunt and fish with, And to read that verse, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. That doesn't say give thanks in the good times.
Right.
Or when things go the way you want it to. And that's been the hardest struggle over the last couple of years. I've done the praying continually. I still pray that God will allow us to have kids. But to be thankful in this time of waiting for the answer, that's where the struggle's been. And I've had to learn that. How to be thankful. How do you be thankful when God doesn't answer right then? As we enter this time of Thanksgiving, how do you be thankful when God doesn't answer your prayer right away?
I think it's tough, but you just got to go back on your faith that the timing is his. And
That's it, right there.
Everything's in His hands.
It is. I mean, and that's exactly what the end of the verse says, because this is God's will for you, right? But that's what's hard to understand.
Well, this kind of goes back on our last one a little
It
bit.
does.
It's the simplicity. We got to die into ourselves and go back into our faith.
It is, yeah,
it's-
absolutely.
Yeah.
But because I know there's those people sitting there going, "How can I be thankful in times of struggles?" I mean, look, I've been there. I'm there now. I get it.
Struggles make you grow, some form or fashion.
But I'm just telling you, you got to be thankful in the struggles because, like we said earlier, the blessings are better on the other end.
Well, in my life, of course, you all know, nobody else does, but I'm remarried. And I went through a really tough time in my life. And, of course, me getting myself back to God kind of led me away from that situation I was in. Wasn't really my choice, but anyway, it did, and it led me back to church. And then I met Lisa, and thank God for her because she's got a really good heart and a really good faith. And we dated for 2 or 3 years. And about the first thing we done when we finally got serious, we started going to church. And we searched for churches and churches. And we ended up here.
We're thankful for that too, Jim.
Yeah. That's amazing how God works, though.
It is.
It really is. And I'm like, and that's how you can sit back and when you look at your life, and that's when you're thankful for those things and those struggles.
Yeah.
Because you're like, God, I was struggling then, and now look at, you said you count your blessings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it, kind of, I was thinking too, I brought up men that I was thankful for, but, I'm going to bring up my mom. I was thankful for her. She had me when she was in high school, and how we're dealing with all of this abortion stuff. But that was a struggle for her. And, she was a good role model in my life too, because she was the one that showed me how to love and, and compassion. But, and she passed away when she was 42 years old, of a brain tumor. And, now that, I'm 41, I'll be 41 in a couple months. You just kind of think of that and be like, man, I just appreciate, their struggles they dealt with. And I appreciate, my mom. She was like a strong woman, and that's, I don't think we can, it's hard for us to go through life without a strong woman, right? Really. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had a strong mom and, my wife now, she's a strong woman too. And she put up with a lot. So, and she's still here, and I'm thankful for the, the two women that are, were in my life, or still is. My mom's not, but I really do, thank her, and then my wife now. Now it got me thinking,
No,
It's not it's not happy people who are thankful. It's thankful people who are happy.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you bring up your mom. This one here, to the world you may be just one person, but to that one person you may be the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That brings.
You
up
imagine
a-
if we
That's
looked
it.
at that every day, everyone that we came in contact with? It'd be a whole different story, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
You got something, Ray. I know you do. You're like,
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to constantly be taking it away, but that's, like we were talking about last night. We need to get more microphones. We'll get there, though. I don't even know if anybody's listening.
We've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody actually realizes because we kind of cut out a lot of the blank spaces, but we're short of microphones. So we're always trying to pass one around.
5 hosts, 4 microphones.
Yep. Who gets to talk? So if somebody's quiet for a while, that explains it, right? Except unless it's Jed. He's just.
I'm just quiet.
Yep.
But the I think being thankful in the hard times actually makes you even more grateful when there are good times too. It is difficult to get into and understand, but with actually a true faith and a true relationship with Jesus, it's something I know now that I didn't know before, is that even though there's struggles and incredibly difficult times, I've always been happy. I've always been thankful and grateful for everything that's going on. I mean, we moved over 3,000 miles to get here, right where we are. And this is practically the closest church to where we ended up moving. We didn't necessarily pick the spot. It was kind of like throwing a dart at the map. And it was not an easy move. And we literally had to, we as they say, we burned our ships behind us because we couldn't do nothing. Even still to this day, it cost us every single thing we had to get here, plus a bunch we didn't have. And we're still, I'm totally grateful for where I am. I'm incredibly, just thankful that this is where I've ended up. I love Arkansas so far. I mean, it's just what's not to love about it. And the people I've met and the people who are around me now. It's actually, again, thankful for you guys here and for this church as well, because it's better than it was out there. So we're struggling out there, and it was rough, and it was a lot of hard work. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, had to just pull up stakes and go, and ended up in this place. And I don't want to say it's easier, but the whole time I've just had this peace to me, because I've known, and I've constantly said, I'm like, all right, Lord, I know this is your plan. I know that you're doing something here. I don't know what it is. I don't know where we're going. And I don't know if this is it or if it's something else later. I mean, maybe this is why it all happened. So I could be here. I could be at this church and be doing what I'm doing now. If you would have told me a year ago I'd be leading a men's ministry study on Sunday nights and doing a podcast on every other Thursday, I'd know what? What are you talking about?
That's all of our reactions.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. But it was a bunch of struggle that got me to this point. It wasn't a bunch of great things happening all over the place. I mean, we literally got the "you got to move out" letter from our landlord, a week or two before Christmas. So, that's a great Christmas present. It's just, again, we weren't happy about it. And I kind of drive my wife a little insane sometimes, because I'd never get angry about that stuff. I never get stressed out about that stuff. To me, it's just like you were saying, Randy, all right, let's do it. Like, how we're going to do this? Yeah. Let's find it out. I mean,
Find a way.
Exactly. I mean, how many, and when we started trying to figure out, okay, how do we move off the island here? Well, we don't have enough money to move off the island here. I said, well, I'm just going to ask my job if they can loan me the money. And it's not the type of thing you normally get to go to your job and say, hey, I need to borrow like a 30-year salary practically to move. Can you help me out? And they were like, yeah, we can. So, I mean, again, I give that up to God. I'm thankful for them, but I'm also grateful for God for putting all these people. They're not even saved, but they don't have to be for God to work through them.
That's right.
You read the Bible, there's a whole bunch of stuff
Say
he
that
does
all
with
the
people
time.
who
Yeah.
aren't saved. Yeah. You never know what the person that who you're interacting with, or the people you're interacting with, even if they're not in your church, could be leading you to, as long as you keep God, as long as you keep Jesus right with you, and be thankful for everything. I'm not going to say you're going to get to a better place, but you're going to get to where you need to be.
So I just thought of this question. Can you be thankful without being happy? And if so, how do you do that? Because, First Thessalonians says, give thanks in all circumstances. You're not happy in all circumstances, right? But you still got to be thankful.
Could always be worse.
Could always be worse.
I always say it could always be better.
I don't know. I just thought of that question.
But maybe you don't have to be happy within that time period. You can be happy when it's over, because you've grown through that point.
Yes.
And I would put a bet down that there isn't a single person who's not saved who is thankful when they're not happy. I think you could put that straight down the line. there are people who are saved, who probably are happy in their struggles, who are thankful in their difficulties. But I don't know if you could find a single lost person who would be happy and thankful in their struggle, because who are they thanking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, happiness is built off of feelings and emotions, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily happy that we can't have kids, but I'm thankful in the hard times right now. You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean.
And so it's like, just because happiness is built off of emotions, I feel happy, you know? I am thankful. There is a difference. And I think you can be not happy and thankful.
Right.
I don't want our listeners to think, oh, because I'm not happy, I can't be thankful right now. You know what I mean? Like you can definitely not be happy, but still be thankful in whatever you're going through.
I think, as well, and Derek, you could probably answer to this, but I wouldn't doubt anybody who's in law enforcement and or military, there's probably plenty of times where you are in what they call the suck, and you can still be incredibly thankful for the people who are around you and they're with you, struggling through it with you. So that's another, a good example, because I can't exactly compare it, but there's been numerous times where it's, 1 a.m, working hard to got the coffee farm processing coffee till the wee hours, the sun's practically coming up before I get home. But I am happy and thankful for the people who are right there with me, working just as hard as I am and getting it done and seeing the progress that comes from it and knowing that, we're bringing in the harvest. We're making this amazing coffee out of it and doing all the things that need to be done. Because you could wait till morning, but then you're letting it ferment, you're letting the flavor change, you're letting it lose quality. So, I mean, there are people who are lazy and they don't care. They'll harvest it, they'll just let it sit on the deck, and in the morning there's fruit flies and maggots, and it smells fermented, and it's, smells like you're making wine, and you can go ahead and process then, and that stuff's cheap. But if you want the good stuff, you got to take care of it right away.
Is that what Starbucks uses?
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. So I'm going to tie this one in here with you guys because I think it's going in the same direction. When asked if my cup is half full or half empty, my response is, I'm just thankful I have a cup.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. Mike's half full.
Of water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
I can
See?
see it.
That's like a quarter full now.
Quarter full.
No, but you're right though. I mean, Ray, you brought up that, the law enforcement military. When I first started, that was at the time that we had hiring freezes, no overtime, only paid comp time. And I worked swing shift most of my career. I think the first year I worked graveyard, but where that struggle came is during swing shift. All the time we're shorthanded. So it was always stay over. Can we have 2 or 3 officers stay over shift and help graves? So we're staying till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Or if we got a shooting or something like that, we're there all night, and I was thankful for the other officers that I worked with, because like you said, you lead it to the farming or harvesting, and we had one goal in mind too. It was pretty much just to protect and serve, and that's what we did. We served the public, and every time we got that message over MDC was 2 or 3 officers stay over, and we're like, I don't want to, but I don't want 2 graveyard officers out there by themselves. And so we would step up and, yeah, we'll stay. And it was good. I mean, I was thankful, and we got the job done. So, yeah, you're right. It's a struggle, and it's still a struggle out there for those guys right now. They're shorthanded like no other. So they're putting in the long hours and the hard work and the sacrifice to protect and serve us.
They've got a hand tied behind their back now.
Oh, they got a hand tied behind their back as well, and And the one that really suffers the most is their family. They're away from their family all the time, and to help other people,
Yep.
right? To help other people. So, yeah, I mean, I give thanks for those guys and ladies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Military and police. Yeah.
For sure. Well, every first responder. All the first responders. Yep. Absolutely. So I'm thankful for them. We get to sleep at night in peace.
Yep.
And we know they're going to always be there, so.
I don't know how many times running the ambulance, it was nothing for us to work 3 days in a row. 3 24-hour shifts in a row is what I mean.
Yeah, but you guys had a bed.
Well,
we had a cop car. You're not really sleeping in that.
Yeah. No, you're
No,
right.
we know.
You guys are washing the truck or playing, whatever.
You're right.
PlayStation, working out.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure the fire truck looks real good.
No, yeah.
Watch it again.
But there's, there were days medical calls. Like
I get it,
running the
man.
ambulance,
Yeah.
medical calls were
The
nonstop
old
almost,
history
but-
battle.
Oh yeah,
the cops
it's back
and the
and forth.
firefighters.
Yeah, it's fine.
We've had that.
We brought donuts to y'all, and y'all were behind Hobby Lobby sleeping, so it's fine.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, when we saw your conference room.
Yeah.
Big screen with stadium seating. Yeah, we saw the conference room.
We were having a good meeting. Okay, we were talking about new trucks.
New trucks.
New trucks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I had to, what'd you say?
I feel like what was that? I don't know what those firefighters do. Wow. But that's a good battle though. I mean, but you know what?
But at the end of the day,
We're always there for each other.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, no matter what side, law enforcement, fire service, everyone goes home safe,
Right.
regardless, no matter what. I've watched cops run into burning buildings to help
Right.
pull a firefighter out that went down. I mean, because at the end of the day, everyone's going home. 'Cause
We're all on the same team.
We're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we're all on the same team.
So
So, yeah, find a group of people to challenge and inspire you and spend a lot of time, and they will change your life.
there you go. That was a good transition into that one. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
True. I think that's what we've got here.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think at least the 5 of us. I mean, just
Oh, you got another one.
go ahead, read it. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just as good friends like a 4-leaf clover. Hard to find and lucky to have one.
Yeah,
But what
because
if-
you know what
Jed,
the
Jed.
5-leaf one is very rare.
I know.
It's like a unicorn.
That's what it's like. What,
Jed, you're my 4-leaf clover.
hey, but what if you find 4 of them?
Then I got good 4 friends.
That's even rarer. Is that a word? Rarer?
It
More
is
rare?
now.
You're the teacher. You tell us.
I don't teach
You have a
English.
master's.
Here's the educated
I
ones.
do, but I don't teach English.
Here comes Ray.
Yeah, right. Is rarer a word? No,
We missed the drums on that.
it's all good. It's all good.
You cut them out anyways.
We don't need the drums. It's all right. I think I left them in the last episode. Though.
You did.
I did. It was worth it. No,
I was thankful.
It is, and it's difficult to have a group of friends who you can actually, maintain a good relationship with. And it's rare to find an actual group of true friends. And so that's definitely something I should be thankful for is you guys right here, because I've had lots of friends. And one of the things I definitely learned, especially being in the world that I was in previously before we even moved out to Hawaii, is that there were just a lot of good time friends. They were always hanging out. They were always willing to go wherever we and my wife were going, to the show or whatever party it might have been, whatever festival it might have been. But when we moved out to Hawaii, I remember telling Wendy, I think I went almost like, a year and a half before one of my old acquaintances called me up. It was like, how's it going? Granted, I didn't reach out to anybody either, but that's, no one reached out to me. No, they all just kind of vanished into the ether. And it's still that way to this day. There's a couple of people who I maintain a little bit of contact with. One guy who actually now works for me, and he's an old friend of mine from back in Minnesota, so we still converse some, but not as much as we used to. I mean, he used to hang out every single day. But at the same time, it's not the same type of friendship. I think there is something that being Christians brings to the table that can't be ignored. And I'm not saying you can't find good friends outside of church, but I don't think they'll ever be the same type of friend that you'll find inside, coming from a church, because there's just something extra that comes to it. Not just the camaraderie, but there's also the level of what's the word I'm looking for? Conviction, or the attitude that we are here to lift each other up, but to also, say, hey, hold on, that's maybe that's not the right thing to be doing or right thing to be saying. And I'm not saying any of us have, doing anything wrong right now that I want to call out. I'm just saying, I know that if we were, somebody would. Not that I'm gonna bring up on the podcast anyway. Just kidding. But you guys.
We all have that relationship with Jesus in common.
That's
so
what I was about
pretty
to
much.
say. That's what it is we have that common bond.
Yeah.
And Jesus calls us as Christians to serve, right? And so your non-Christian friends, it's about self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think back to my friends that I've had over the years, and my non-Christian friends, it was what could they get out of me being their friend, as opposed to us, where it's more of, hey, how can I help you as your friend? How can I serve you as your friend? So I think that, right, is probably where, to go with what you were talking about, I think that's where it's at, on why, how our bond that we have within our friendship is so strong is, I think we could probably go a week without talking to each other, and we'd still pick up on the same conversation, no problem.
Yep.
Because we have that common bond.
Yep. And I know that in a heartbeat, if any one of us needed something or there was trouble, we'd be there. We'd be right there. And it's something that is definitely a different feeling than I've had in maybe ever.
Exactly. I feel the same way. Because you get your good friends, you got your friends you hang out with, and then it's like you said, I'd call upon them, and if I call you guys, it's like, yeah, I'll get there a day or two later, but yeah, I'll be there. No, no, I enjoy this. I think this, like I said before, this is what I was really wanting, because it was self. I can do all this myself, and nowadays it's like, man, I'm glad those guys are here. I need some help. So yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. So you took my scripture, so I only got one
sorry.
quote left now. So I'm whatever you guys want to call it.
That's good.
Wow.
You know what? We might do this short one for the people that want it shorter.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't have an hour and a half to listen to you guys.
let's talk about cops again. Jeez.
Don't get me started.
Talk about being simple took forever.
And if I talk about that stuff, my wife won't listen. No, I mean, you guys all hit it right. I mean, it is the friendship that we have, and that's what I'm thankful for. I have a handful of other good buddies too that are the same way. I can call them, and man, they'd be down here in a heartbeat. Or we might not talk for a few months, but we pick right back up. Yep. So I mean, it is a different friendship, because you're right. Because my mindset is, how can I serve you? What can I do for you? Yeah. Not having these selfish intentions of, man, if I become friends with him, maybe he might be, give me this or give me that, or, whatever. I think we've all done that. We've all been there. But when you find that good friendship and the good godly men to hang out with and to encourage you, to uplift you, yeah, you can't explain it. You really can't. I mean, it's hard to explain.
Your wants turns into needs. Like, I need time with my guys.
Oh, yeah.
I need time with this, or I need,
Yeah.
the fellowship.
And that's something other people don't understand, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, people out there that are listening, I mean, that's what I would tell you to try to find, those men or women to be the, godly friends with. And maybe we need to change our outlook on that, not just look at ourselves and how can I benefit from being a friend, but how can I serve you as a friend?
Yep.
That might change people's friendships there. And then, we can look back and, like we do all the time, we're just thankful.
Yep. I mean, you look back at just the accomplishments that we've done in the last couple of years, and it's not all just us, but I'm just saying none of that could happen if we wasn't a team to be able to kickstart this.
Right.
So, I mean, we're still in the process of everything. But
Oh, yeah.
In the same sense, we're all standing here doing the process.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got to be thankful for that. I mean, there's
The
not-
process. I'm thankful for the journey.
Exactly.
The journey. That's why I tell my kids all the time. I says, when they're struggling, they're doing stuff like that. I'm like, be thankful for the journey right now.
Yeah.
And you can't
Enjoy
do
the
the journey
journey.
alone.
No, you can't.
You can't.
No,
You gotta.
it's too hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes the journey is the best part of it before you get to the
Right.
accomplishment.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
The reward.
The reward.
So we've been talking about being thankful. Did we ever define what that meant?
Turkey and ham. I thought you said Thanksgiving. Sorry.
Turkey, ham, apple pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
What's a food that starts with N? Nanner pudding.
What? What did you just say? Nanner pudding?
I think
I thought that was Jed like auctioneering already.
I think Elvis is the only one who can get away with that. Nanner and peanut butter. So calm down over there.
I was just thinking of foods that start with the letters of Thanksgiving.
Oh, you would as a teacher.
I would as somebody who didn't eat for the last couple of days being sick.
All
too.
right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's going around.
Yeah, but I could tell when I was better because my appetite came back and
Yeah.
I started eating everything.
And it's weird. I'm opposite.
Oh, really?
Like when I'm sick,
Oh,
man, I
dude, I
just
can't
eat
eat
just
anything.
garbage.
Taylor brought
I don't know what
home-
it is.
Tuesday night, Taylor ordered a cannonball out of Pea Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like hamburger steak and mashed potatoes, which they make one of the best hamburger steaks I've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it. And I ate like a quarter of my hamburger steak, 2 bites of my mashed potatoes, put it up, and went back to sleep at 6:30.
That's what she said. You're sick, aren't you?
Yeah, well, she already knew that because I was asleep when she got home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so
Care how
No, I
sick you
can't.
are. You don't waste that stuff. Come on.
no, it's in my it's in my fridge
Yeah.
to eat, but yeah, I don't eat. I lost 3 pounds in 2 days
Wow.
from not eating.
Not me. I probably gained 10 when I was sick last week.
I'd eat that hamburger steak and a box of Little Debbie's to go along with it.
I don't know what it
What
is,
else
man.
is
I just eat fast food, just greasy food. That's all I want when I'm sick.
like because I don't nap at all.
Yeah.
You'll
But
get to it.
when I'm sick, I fall asleep and nap,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's Taylor knows I'm sick because I sleep during the day.
If the sun's up, I'm awake.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I'm sick.
I wish I was
No,
taking
and
a nap.
that's my mindset. You know, if the sun's up, I'm awake unless I'm sick, and then not all of us can take naps.
Nope. I don't know why you're looking at me because I don't
know.
take naps.
I don't. I always glance over that way towards
Right.
you.
Look
Yep.
at Randy.
Yeah. Randy takes naps.
Well, I used to tell Taylor I'm not a teacher, so I can't take naps, but I can't tell her that now.
Yeah. Mandated nap time.
So, anyway, so back to the definition of thankfulness. What's it mean to be thankful? Because we've talked about it.
Well, yeah.
We've talked
I mean,
about what we're thankful for.
Right. And then, you appreciate things. I mean, you appreciate the things that you're thankful for, I don't know what the true Webster
Right. That's fine.
Dictionary.
Randy's
have
pulling it up. Yeah.
what is the meaning.
I just want to know what your
But that's mine.
what's your definition
Just
is.
appreciate it. Is that even a word? I don't know, but
Appreciate.
appreciated.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a word.
Nice.
It is.
Sweet.
It is because you are appreciated.
That was the thing too. Moving to Arkansas, everyone, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm like, what? No, you don't.
That's just what we say.
Yeah.
Ray, do you have one?
Yeah, here you go.
Because he's leaning over like he does.
I'm gonna get him a mic here soon.
Yeah, we'll work it out. Well, yeah, actually, I don't know what the actual Webster's definition is. I'm sure Randy will tell us, but I definitely it's having a gratitude for something that I think you don't necessarily deserve, I guess is what I was kind of go for, or something that you didn't do anything for. True thankfulness, like being thankful for the Lord's salvation and the grace that He gives us, is something, again, just having that overwhelming knowledge that you don't deserve it, and yet it's yours, and you can accept it, and just it's your only way to give back. Kind of, it's your only way to show some sort of, again, saying the word, gratitude for what you have.
What do you got, Jed?
I think they both hit on just about what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's to be grateful, appreciative of stuff that you don't deserve.
That's where I was
Yeah.
That's where I was getting at right there. Being grateful for things you don't deserve. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it means to
You
be
had
thankful.
me pegged for that answer, didn't you?
I did. I did, actually. I knew it was coming from you. Go ahead.
One says pleased and relieved, and another one says expressing gratitude and relief.
Because I just think on the season of Thanksgiving, we celebrate with food. And in today's society, I think Thanksgiving's being overlooked now. Mm-hmm. Would you agree to that?
I'd agree.
Yeah, I don't think you talk about Thanksgiving and all everyone talks about is the food.
Because, right, they talk about the food, but we look at Halloween, where we get to play dress up, and then we look forward to Christmas, where we get gifts. Not where we get to give gifts, but where we get. And so we totally skip over Thanksgiving.
Our marketing has skipped completely over
That's
Thanksgiving.
exactly where it's at, right there.
Yes.
Well, Daniel, one point here is, since you're the only one who's not a father, once you become a father, you don't really get gifts anymore. It's all about giving.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
A lot
all
of fun
giving.
giving too, though.
I'll just
enjoy
tell you that once I started getting nephews and nieces, I told all of them, I said, this is for, don't get me anything. Like, I told my brothers and sisters, and even Taylor's brother, I was like, don't get us nothing. We're giving gifts to the kids. Y'all don't get nothing. The kids get it. And then mom. The kids and mom. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Don't
my mom,
leave mom out.
Oh yeah.
like my mom gets two because her birthday's December 20th and then Christmas, so they're right there together. But that's what I told them. I'm like, you got kids. That's who I'm giving gifts to. Don't get me nothing. You spend whatever you're going to spend on me on their presents, and so it's been that way now for 7 or 8 years. That's how old my oldest nephew is about 8 years old. So
Yeah, you're just happy to get the socks or a nice new flannel.
yeah, right. Well, like last year, because they'd always steal my cowboy hats every family time we were together, and so last year for Christmas I bought them all cowboy hats, and so they put them on and we took pictures together, and they were so excited for a cowboy hat that I bought from Cavender's. But that's the same way. I think when I got my first cowboy hat, I was 2 years old. That's the first time I rode a horse, was 2 years old. And, so, I mean, I was the
You
same.
waited a long time.
Do what?
You waited a long time to get on your
well,
first horse.
I know. I did.
Yep.
But unfortunately, my nephews and my niece are having to wait a long time, too, to ride their first horse because I don't have the land right now to get one.
Yep.
But don't worry about it. I'll get it, and I'll
You'll
put them
get
on
it.
one.
They can still come over and ride ours.
Hey, I've invited them up here. I'm trying to get them to come up. And if they do, I'm hollering at you because I'll put them on.
But I still want a dirt bike under the tree. That's all I always wanted when I was a kid. I wanted a dirt bike.
Never got it.
Never got it.
A dirt bike or a dirty bike?
Dirt bike.
Oh, okay. I was like, because I got a bicycle in the garage. I can throw dirt on it. Give it to you.
I always wanted a dirt bike. I don't know what it was, but
No,
because my friends had them.
probably. No, I just think
Well, you did live in the desert, so I
He
mean, you
did,
should have
yeah.
had one. You
You
just
should
wasn't
have.
cool.
No, we had the 3-wheelers back then.
The bike of death.
Yeah, those have been outlawed now, right? Because so many people died.
Right. Yeah.
They were fun.
Oh man, they were
They
fun.
were
I
a
remember
blast.
flipping one too. I
remember those
It was
things.
so much fun.
Turning on one wheel.
See, we had snowmobiles up in Minnesota, so you know,
Those ain't-
not much better.
Those ain't been banned yet.
It's like a dirt bike on snow, isn't
It
it?
is.
It's more like a 3-wheeler on
It's
snow.
a 3-wheeler on snow. Just as dangerous. So, no, this was a good one, Randy. This is something that gets overlooked. Thanksgiving does. We sit down, we eat, we watch football. And that's what we do. That's our Thanksgiving traditions. And I think I'm going to change that. Before we ever have kids, I'm changing that. Our new Thanksgiving tradition is going to be talking about what we're thankful for.
Yeah, my wife actually started trying to bring that in as soon as we were saved, actually. The first Thanksgiving we went to was with a bunch of people that I worked with at the coffee farm, because that was the only family we really had at the time. There wasn't a single word of what are we thankful for, or graciousness. It was all just about, it was just a party. It was just people drinking and people partying and talking about food. That's all it was. And it really, I miss going way back to the Thanksgivings we did when I was a kid. My mom's family is almost always, we went over there because they had the type of family where, everybody got together. I mean, there was some Thanksgivings where there was probably 60, 70 people there, second cousins and great uncles, and just the house was jam-packed with people. And I always, as a kid, just loved it, looked forward to it, and just thought that was just how it was. And it's definitely something I'm thankful for now that I had those experiences, but it's definitely something that I miss, and I couldn't even recreate now if I wanted to, because again, our family is just not that close in that way. Even if I invited them all and told them I'd pay for it all, I know they wouldn't all come. So
Now you can buy your Thanksgiving meal from Cracker Barrel.
I mean, Cracker Barrel does make some pretty good food.
I know, but
Delicious.
But I just think about that. You buy it from Cracker Barrel, you eat, and then you run. And I think about, like you said, growing up. One of the things I'm most thankful for is growing up, spending time at Grandma's house while Grandma was cooking everything. Mm-hmm. Sitting in the kitchen, learning how to cook from Grandma because you're watching her. Or out in the yard playing with your cousins, trying not to get whooped by Grandpa because you touched the ceramic figurines and knocked one over and broke it, so you're running.
Or playing football and landed in the cactus.
Yeah, well,
Or Derek maybe, but
that was Derek. Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know
Grandma
how.
had cactuses in her yard.
Oh, Grandma did. But that's what, you don't do that now. Now you order your meal and you eat and you run to the next Thanksgiving whatever, or you run and do whatever you want, or.
Wasn't it amazing how Grandma always made every single person's favorite dish?
What was your favorite? What was your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
That my grandma made. It was her. She called them roadside potatoes.
Yeah, from Grandma. Your grandma's favorite Thanksgiving dish. Yours from
roadside.
Does that make sense?
Basically like scallop potatoes, but I think it had bacon in there too, and it was cubed instead of sliced. But
Okay.
she called them roadsides. Oh, they were so good.
Okay. Derek?
I got to think about it because our Thanksgiving too. I mean, we lived in Arizona, and we didn't have family that was close to us. They're all over the states, and
Well, think about growing up. Can you think back that far?
Has he grown up?
He didn't like food back
Sorry,
then.
I meant as a kid. we all know Randy, so we're skipping that one.
I got a good one. Y'all go ahead.
I wasn't a turkey fan. I just love ham, and so I know my mom used to get honey baked ham, and I loved it, and that's what we're doing this year too.
Are you?
Yeah, can't wait.
There you go.
Grandma's chicken and noodles.
Chicken and noodles.
Yep. Homemade noodles and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Got to
it.
help make them too.
Yeah. Isn't that the best when she lets you help make them? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Randy.
Chicken.
Okay, so
I like chicken tenders.
growing
My
up,
favorite was chicken nuggets.
growing up, I wasn't spoiled as you all think I was. All right, they didn't make me chicken back in the day. All right. But I'll throw this out there before I tell you what foods we had. If I remember right, and I'm correct, Jim, my father-in-law, he does try to implement let's say a thankful word before we start doing our Thanksgiving dinner. If I remember right, we do that. And I know, like during Christmas time, he'll set the kids down and go through the Christmas story of the wise men and all that. So I mean, we do kind of do a little bit of traditional stuff like that. But all right, so the foods I grew up with, I am part of the Native American side, so going down to Thanksgiving dinner with my aunts and uncles and family, we had all kinds of fried foods. We had the fried taters, fried bread. They'd made mashed potatoes and gravy too. Anything you can make. Potato salads. I mean, yeah, too much fried food in my life. I'll tell you that. Oh my gosh.
So potatoes.
Yeah. So they had the hams, the turkey, and I don't think they started doing the chicken strips or anything until later in life with all the other grandkids and all that, because they didn't want to eat all the turkey and stuff. So nowadays, yes, I think it was my mother-in-law that spoiled me on that. She was awesome. Anytime I come over, she just makes me chicken strips. It doesn't matter what she makes.
So did you get to
or
move?
my wife, they just throw chicken in the oven because I probably don't like what they're making anyway. But
Did you get to move back to the kids' table?
oh no! I'm too loud for the kids.
He never
He
left.
never left the kids' table.
So yeah, we had all types of fried foods and different stuff that I don't want to go back to. So yeah,
Very nice. I think for me, a couple of things Grandma made. Grandma made, probably some of the best chicken and dumplings, homemade dumplings. You know, it's the same thing. She lets you help
Yep.
her make it.
yeah.
You know, I remember standing in the kitchen. Probably a kitchen no bigger than this room that we're in right now, sitting in there making dumplings with her. And then she made a Mississippi mud pie. I don't know. Have you ever? I don't even know what's all in that thing.
I don't know what's in it.
It must be like a Pine Bluff thing, because she makes that, and I was like, my goodness, this will make you want to slap your mama. It was good.
Did y'all hear that accent that come out of his mouth? When he did that?
was good.
I tell you what.
Are you Daniel? No.
I'm from Southern Arkansas.
It does. It slips out every now and again. But then my dad, he would do smoked turkey. So we wouldn't deep fry it. We'd smoke it, and we'd spend good 24 hours smoking the turkey, and that was better than anything. Besides the chicken and dumplings, but
I'm sure that my family had stuff like that too, but you know me, I'd just bypass all that nonsense and just get my mashed potatoes and gravy and fried taters and what else?
chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. But you say the deep fried, yeah, they had deep fried turkeys and baked turkeys and hams. If it could be fried, they'd fried it.
You know, I'm not a fan of deep fried turkey. I'm just not.
Try this one. That's what I did last year. I smoked a turkey
Yeah.
and then deep fried it.
Just to finish it.
Yeah, just to
That-
finish it. It locked in the smoke flavor.
That I might
It
be
was
able
good.
to get behind.
It was good.
I don't know. Deep fried's just not my thing for a turkey.
Well, I wasn't actually the biggest fan of turkey either until Food Network saved the turkey for me and
Yeah.
for my mom. Really, she I don't remember what she watched. Just watched something. Or like, oh, you got to brine the turkey first for like at least 24 hours.
Brine
And,
it?
Yeah, soak it in a heavy salt brine
Yeah.
with like garlic and other seasonings just in that
Yeah.
water. And it is almost impossible to dry your turkey out if you brine it right.
Oh,
as soon as
yeah.
she did that, all of a sudden it was just juicy, just like chicken. And I miss the dark meat. That's my favorite
Well, I mean-
part of the turkey is
Oh
the
yeah,
dark meat.
I
Dark
mean,
meat.
smoking it, you can dry it out easy, but you got to spritz it. You know, spray it with the bottle, spritz it. That's what that means, Randy. Spray with the bottle.
Okay.
No, that's not.
Pinky up?
That's not a pinky up thing.
Oh, what I forgot was, I love macaroni and cheese. Yeah.
Homemade.
Oh, whatever they put in front of me, I
Yeah.
ate it.
Taylor's picky. she's a crafts only type of mac and cheese.
I will tell you this. Growing up, it's always been out of box. When I married my wife, she put noodles in Velveeta, and I thought I was in heaven. I was never had it this way. This is fancy stuff.
I love homemade mac and cheese. That's good
So
too.
yeah.
Was that when you moved to Bentonville?
I just love
No, I was a little bit before that.
Oh, okay. I know Derek was going to ask.
Yeah. I had fancy stuff before I went to Bentonville. Just mac and cheese. That's it.
Just mac and cheese.
They don't let you in if you're not fancy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. Yeah.
And they ask if you got anything fancy. It means you drink your tea out of a real glass and not plastic cups.
I don't drink tea, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So, you got anything else on being thankful?
I
Anybody?
think that's good.
Hey, so let's end it with this right here. Go ahead, tell us something that God's done for you.
I've got one
This
more
week.
thing.
Oh my
Hold
goodness!
yourself.
I just asked if you did. And
You
no one
didn't give
spoke
me
up.
time to answer. You looked at Derek.
He's
all right?
facilitating.
Sorry.
Hey, shh. All right, my last quote of the night. Time and good friends are two things that become more valuable the older you get.
That is true.
Now,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Sorry. See, I didn't know that was your last one because, again, it's not highlighted in blue. That's a good quote, though. I like that.
listening to others, I got to calm down. I had something for you that
I
wasn't
bet
on my
you did.
piece of paper.
Bet you did. That's a good quote, though. Time and good friends are two things that become more valuable. Yeah, most definitely. But I think they become less, too, the older you get. You have less time to... I feel like you have less time to do things and probably less of good friends. Just because life gets busy.
I disagree.
No.
I
Yeah,
disagree.
you got to make the time.
You make the time.
Yep, you got to make the time. Because I mean, when you set your priorities, you can, you set that priority for your friends. You're not gonna be too busy. But I mean, like for me, like I'm busy all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter. I have 40 million things going all at once. But when somebody needs something, or we want to do something as friends, I'll make that time.
Well, yeah.
So I try not to use that as an excuse, but
My thing, my new saying, it's on the list. I'll make time for Randy. I'll make time for any of you guys. Whatever I was doing, it goes back on the list. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Get you. I hear you there. Hear you. I like it. Anything else,
I am done now.
facilitator?
I am done. Hey, I do appreciate all the input. That was an awesome little session there, and I'm glad we kind of found that quote and kind of broke off into that, because I think we do need to take a second and figure out what we are thankful for. Because I mean, we have many of blessings, and before I would sit here and like we said, I don't deserve that, but who is it to say other than God to tell you what He deserves to give you for blessings? So thankful for everything we have and all our blessings and all our good friendships.
yep.
There you go. So we've talked about being thankful. Let's talk about, tell me something God's done for you this week. Start off to my right. No mic.
I was really, really grateful that snowed real nice the other day, and I got to build the first snowman with my daughter. She has, lived in Hawaii since she can remember, basically, and was too young to do anything like that when we moved from Minnesota. So we got to, and it was at 10 at night, because that was when the snow was coming and when the snow was thick. But I was like, you know what? I was like, put on your coat, put on your boots, let's go outside and make a snowman.
There you go.
And it was real fun. It was, and she's enjoyed it thoroughly, and it was a great experience. And unfortunately, my wife couldn't make it out to be part of it because she just wasn't feeling good at the time. But we got some pictures, and she got to see it in the morning and stuff. But that was really, really good. Just something simple, but yet still incredibly satisfying.
Did it survive today.
It is still up today. It is much smaller, and it's lost all of its face, and one of the arms fell off, but I stuck it back in there.
How big was it to start with?
It was actually taller than Harmony. It was
Really?
almost as tall as me. We made a big snowman.
And we didn't get a lot of snow up here.
No, we cleared the entire front yard. Yeah, we just kept rolling it up and rolling it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was time to mow the yard after he got done.
Well, the snowman was a half snow, half grass because the grass was so dead. It just pulled up all kinds of dead grass with it. But it's all good. I got a picture I'll show you later.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
I'll post one on the
Post that on-
website
post
too.
that- yeah. Hey, post that on our pages.
Yeah, people can see
That'd be
the
cool.
snowman we made.
Yeah. Spiritual debriefing snowman.
Yeah.
Well, we got all the test results back from my wife. She had that heart issue, and she got dizzy, and couldn't even remember like her phone number or anything. That time I took her to the ER, and what's really odd is all her test results come back negative for anything. She's fine. Like everything is normal. Her heart's normal. Everything is good.
That's not odd.
Yeah.
That's answered prayers.
Right. So I mean, it's that was a blessing. I mean, we get everything back, and everything's fine.
awesome.
Everything's good. So yeah, that was a good one.
It's awesome.
Okay.
It's all you, Jed.
All me.
Say it real fast in your auction voice.
Auction voice. Okay.
Step up so we can see you and hear you.
Okay, I'm up against the mic here.
There you are.
Yep. I just feel like it's a real blessing to be here last night and to be here tonight. We was talking earlier before we started recording. If somebody can't be here, we're going to try to keep and go on and everything. And I know it'll be great. God's got a plan for all of us. That's why we're here. It's just has to be. There's no other answers. But just to be able to be here is a blessing. To be with you guys, it's not a job like we've said. It's just pure whatever. I mean, this is where I want to be. Even though I'm the quiet one, I still want to be here. And that's really my blessing of the week, is to be able to see you guys twice in 1 week, 3 times in 1 week. It's great. 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm sure we'll have something going.
yeah.
It's a home football game.
Home football game.
I got to work. Last one of the season.
Will you take Randy?
No.
To a Razorback game?
Yeah.
No.
Take Randy.
How about no?
Not against Ole Miss.
Go miss. You done now? I'll wait.
What? Yeah, that's all right.
You got something?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, I'm good.
Man, there's probably a lot of things I've probably overlooked, but I think one good thing is that God's blessed us in is we found a person that made our hats, and I've had a lot of feedback on that, even from the person that made our hats. She had some questions, and we answered that, and just even last night passing out hats, we had a few of our church members ask about it, and man, I guess when it comes down to, I love the support we have from the church. I mean, basically, when it comes down to it, they was asking questions. I love the involvement of the preacher enough to just give us a thumbs up every once in a while. So, just having a little bit of, I'd hate to say advertisement, but just everybody having a hat on except for Daniel, But I know y'all can't see it, but we got a pretty good thing going here, and I think it's pretty good to have people ask us questions about that. So that's a pretty good blessing on that end.
So today was
Let's go hatless.
Today was hat day at school.
Which would have been a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, today was hat day at school, and so you know me. Anytime I get the chance to wear my cowboy hats, I'm going to. That's just what I'm gonna
But
do.
you missed the day we all
And
wore
so-
cowboy hats to church.
So when last night?
No, it's like what was it?
Was it Easter?
Easter.
No, I wore them. The day we all wore them, I wore it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was part of it. Anyway, so So when I got home,
No, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was.
All
Yeah.
right then.
'Cause I even-
stand corrected.
because
Sit corrected.
Derek wore his black one, you wore your dark brown one, so I wore my light tan one.
Yep.
So none of us would really match. So anyway, so I got home and I put on my spiritual debriefing hat. And Taylor looked at me and she goes, "You either look like Derek or a new country singer." So I took it off and put my cowboy hat.
He's like, I don't want to look like Derek.
So
I said, "I really don't want to look
that
like
was the
either."
worst compliment ever.
I said, "I don't want to look like either right now."
The new Derek.
Derek.
I guess.
The new Derek country singer.
You did expand your music vocabulary, I
did.
guess.
Oh, anyway, so what God has done for me this week. Let's get back to that.
All right.
God made me stop and rest. And I'm thankful for that. Because I think, it's like you said, none of us really have the time, right? Because we all try to find stuff that just keeps us going busy, busy, busy. But God finally said, you know what? You've got to rest. And that's why God put a day of rest when he created things.
Yes.
And so I'm thankful God did that. I needed that rest time. Now it took me away from here last night, which I hate. I hate missing church because I love being here. I don't see this as a job. I see it as getting to be with family. I call this church family, and so I hate not being around family, but I'm glad God made me sit and rest for a while. So that's what I got.
You're good. Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
need the rest.
Hey, close us in prayer, Randy.
All right. I want to say last thing is everybody have a safe Thanksgiving and good travels, and we'll end in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for be able to come together and talk on this podcast. And I just want to ask that you allow us to have a good Thanksgiving and travels through our next week. I just want to encourage everybody to be able to lift up their thankfulness and their praises to you, and just be with us in this podcast, in our church, and our families. Just keep us safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you for listening to Spiritual Debriefing, a podcast supported by First Baptist Church Hiwassee. Please like and subscribe to the podcast so you can be notified when we post new episodes, as well as check out our past episodes. We'll be posting new podcasts every other Thursday. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you have questions you'd like us to answer, comments, or feedback on the podcast, please contact us through our social media or email us at dmeadows@fbchiwassee.com. Thank you, and we hope God blesses your day.